Mayday, Mayday, we interrupt your programming to bring you a message that I did not think we would be talking about in the slightest here today. But heading into the Rangers and Lightning game that is set to take place just a few hours from now, we have ourselves the news that one Alexis Lafreniere is getting scratched. This is kind of out of nowhere. I mean, okay, look, maybe it's not too far out of nowhere. And the reason I say that is because what I did immediately after seeing the news, hey, Lafreniere's going to get out of the lineup, he's not playing today, instead you have Sammy Blais that is in. What I wanted to do immediately off the bat was head over onto the Our Hockey subreddit and read from some Rangers fans what in the world is going on here. So, that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. I'm not going to go out there and provide my own analysis because I'd really just be stealing that of the subreddit folk and trying to claim it as my own. This is the post made on the Our Hockey sub from earlier today by Homicidal Penguin, so this is before the scratching announcement was made. It's an article on The Athletic talking about how the Rangers and Lafreniere are at a critical point. The first comment from Send Me Spider-Man says it's a sore subject for Rangers fans, but Lafreniere doesn't have the skating that it takes at the NHL level to produce anywhere like he did in juniors. He has the talent, but he doesn't have the time or space to make great plays because he can't keep up. Guyseman, or Guzman, I don't know, then replies saying that he desperately needs a skating coach if he doesn't already see one. When Brian Boyle was on the Rangers, he started seeing Barb Underhill, and his first season after that, he was noticeably improved and had the best offensive season of his career. Lafreniere already has far better hands and a hockey brain than Boyle. If he can take his skating to the next level, he will make it. Then you have yourselves the other comment over here. This is why I laugh, Lemon Hayes says, when Lafreniere scores a tap-in goal and Rangers fans fill the thread with comments saying, not bad for a bust. This guy is the same exact player that he was 3 years ago. His skating is bad, and he hasn't improved at all. Now, that's a Rangers fan going out there and saying that. Saps then replies saying, for real, I feel like all his goals are always right place, right time, except that one goal against Detroit is the only one that comes to mind where I went, wow. Max Holly Woody says that it's not the end of the world and this should be a wake-up call for Lafreniere. The effort every shift and game isn't there with him. Exactly. I think this is an issue of consistency more than anything else, Les I says. Then we have ourselves the actual post made on the Rangers, or not the Rangers, the Our Hockey sub, from Larry Brooks. This is the tweet talking about how Lafreniere is scratched. Lemon Hayes then says that Lafreniere has been unimpressive to say the least, but scratching him for Sammy Blais is banana lands. Super Andy says Lafreniere is third on the team for even strength points and is being scratched for someone that has never scored a freaking goal. Now, okay, there's a little bit of a caveat to that, because third on the team is less impressive when he's below half a point a game. This isn't done so they can get someone better in the lineup. This is done so Lafreniere knows he needs to be better than he is. His expectations are higher. Counterpoint to the Devil's Advocate, though, his even strength points are in line with most of the young top picks. He has more than guys like Stützle, a guy this sub loves, who also plays 5 more minutes a game than Lafreniere does. If Lafreniere actually got top 6 minutes and power play time to boost his points, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And then a lot of the other comments are going over Gerard Gallant, the coaching situation, whether or not he's the right fit for the team, and how the Rangers cannot develop forward prospects. I mean, Sammy Blais, the guy coming into the lineup, was the player that the Rangers traded away Pavel Buchnevich for, might I remind you, and Buchnevich is pretty good. But either way, when it comes to this game against the Tampa Bay Lightning, again, it's not the end of the world. I definitely do agree with the perspective that there's more to look forward to and expect out of this guy over the years, but then again, I mean, ever since getting drafted in 2020 and making his debut in 2021, Lafreniere has really not been as good as we thought he would be. Now, I'll just say this based off of the play that he had in the QMJHL, the idea of his skating not being up to speed, literally speaking, and him not just being able to keep up, that is probably like the only thing that I felt people were talking about when it came to Lafreniere and concerns in his draft season. Hockey brains? Yeah, he's got that. His hands? Yeah, he's got that. A shot, he can shoot, he can score, he can make the right reads, he can just be an absolute offensive unit out there. It's just, in the QMJHL, sure, there are some guys that are pretty fast, but the majority of the talent in that league doesn't really require you to be super great with your feet in order to create offense, especially if you're as smart and creative as a guy like Lafreniere was. The fact is, he wasn't going to be able to play in the NHL like he played in the QMJHL. There would have to be a little bit more development there with his mobility, and so far we're seeing that, at least according to Rangers fans, that hasn't been there. And so, when Lafreniere, who was already a little bit clunky and a little bit, how do I say this? Do I want to say slow? Not necessarily slow, but lackadaisical on his feet maybe is the proper phrasing here. It doesn't really surprise me much when Lafreniere does not take that step in development, and as a result, his overall play ends up suffering. In the QMJHL, Lafreniere could rely on that positioning and the skills to get him out of a bind and make proper plays because he didn't need to be fast. He could just stay around in the offensive zone, and I think it was Will Scouching who said this as well about Lafreniere back in 2020, but he was the ultimate not dangerous until he is type of player, wherein Lafreniere could just hang out in the offensive zone, just kind of chill, stand around, not really do all too much, but once you give him the puck, or once he notices an open pocket of space, he exploits that, he gets the puck, and all of a sudden it's in the back of the net, either because he puts it there, or he makes a perfect pass off of a very nice deceptive read, where he's faking one way and he gets the opponents to commit, and then he passes it off backdoor or something. He was always really good at those quick time events, just knowing what needs to be done to facilitate the puck in the proper direction and doing everything flawlessly. He could go for a skate once in a while too. We saw that at the World Juniors a few years ago. It's just playing against kids in the QMJHL is a lot different than playing in the NHL. Guys are faster, guys are bigger, guys are stronger, and you gotta find ways to keep up if you are a junior player, especially from the Quebec League, making his way into the show. And so the Rangers play tonight against Tampa Bay with Lafreniere out of the lineup, and we'll see whether or not this does have any implications as to the future of Lafreniere with the team, and whether or not this means that he's going to get traded soon or whatever. That's kind of a hyperbole, I think, but either way, wake-up call, I guess, for the guy, right? Give him just a little bit of a warning saying that he needs to be better and he needs to probably get his feet moving under him a little bit more, because so far, I mean, it hasn't been a great career for Lafreniere in the NHL when you compare the expectations to the reality here. The Rangers have had some pretty good draft picks come into their system. Of course, Kakko and Lafreniere are the two big ones, but the development, man, that's kind of a question mark so far. Talk in the comments, though, either way, all your thoughts about Lafreniere getting scratched in this game. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.